Greetings, friends, and welcome to a very special edition of Moments in the Word. It is with a heavy heart that I come to you today. In light of the tragedy that struck our nation, the bombing at the Boston Marathon has left us speechless and grieving with families who are suffering immense emotional pain tonight. We also feel for every person who is injured and tonight are nursing wounds at the senseless acts from an evil heart. It is often in times like these that we hear the question, where was God, and why in the world would God allow such things to happen? If God is really a God of love, and if He cares about humankind, why wouldn't He stop senseless tragedies like this? And why would He allow innocent people to suffer at the hands of madmen? You know, one of the most incredible things about God, one of the things that a lot of people don't even think about, is that one of His greatest displays of love ever was the fact that He created humans with free will. He created Adam and Eve with the ability to reason, to think, and to choose for themselves how they would conduct their lives. That was sure a risky thing for God, because God knew it was very possible that with this free will, Adam and Eve would make the wrong choice with their life. But He loved them enough to give them that freedom anyway. Freedom is really the ultimate expression of love. If any of you have ever lived through a controlling relationship with a spouse or loved one, maybe a parent, a caregiver, who is very controlling and domineering in your life, I think that you especially will understand what the gift of freedom really means to a person. God loved us so much that He was willing to take that risk, knowing that we could choose things that would harm us and harm others, but He loved us enough to give us the choice. Otherwise, we simply would have roamed around quite like robots, and the affection that we would have given God, or any other person for that matter, would have just simply been something in our programming. And really, what kind of affection is that? It is true. God loved us enough to take the risk to give us free will. And because God is a God of justice, and because God is a God who honors and stands by His word at all cost, He limits Himself in the mingling of affairs of men's lives. And that's pretty hard for Him to do. Just think about it for a moment. Those of you that maybe have grown children, and you love your children enough, but you understand that they're in a position to make their own choices, and no matter how bad you would like to get in their lives and make the right choices for them because you see them heading for destruction, you restrain yourself and freely give them the opportunity to make their own choices. That's exactly what God does with us. And yes, it is risky, because when we make bad choices, those choices not only affect our lives, but they sadly affect the lives of those around us. Sometimes innocent people who don't deserve the effects of the choices we make. And in situations that happen, such as today's tragedy, that's exactly what we see. Someone woke up this morning with evil thoughts in their mind. They succumbed to the whispers of Satan, the enemy of humankind, and they allowed themselves to follow the plan that he had for destruction today, because it is the enemy whom the Bible tells us come to steal, to kill, and to destroy. Whoever this person or people were yielded to those thoughts today, and their free will choice to make a bad decision not only affected their lives, but it affected the lives of many people today. Hundreds and hundreds of people around our nation are grieving, directly affected by the events that happened, and millions more of us are grieving with them indirectly affected by the events that happened. I want to read you a scripture today that tells you about the goodness of God, even in the midst of bad situations. Isaiah 43:2, from the New Living Translation, we read that when you go through deep waters, I will be with you. When you go through rivers of difficulty, you won't drown. When you walk through the fire of oppression, you will not be burned up. The flames will not consume you. The Bible doesn't promise us that we won't face difficult times. As a matter of fact, this is pretty much a guarantee that we will. Because God knows that there are human beings who are going to make bad choices that will affect us, whether directly or indirectly. But He's given us a promise that when these tragic things happen, He will be with us. He will help us. He will give us strength to make it through to the other side. And as hard as situations like this is, and as weighty as the pain of grief is, God really is with us. And He really wants to give us comfort and peace in the midst of our turmoil. The Bible also tells us that all things work together for our good when we're trusting God. So friends, I want to encourage you that even though today seems like a senseless horror, and we can find no good in it, no possible positive thing that can result, really and truly positive things can result. And although some will forever miss their loved ones who went on to their eternal destination today, the pain of that loss can propel them forward to make positive changes in this earth. So I encourage you, don't question God in a time like this. Instead, lean on His strength. Know that He is with you and allow Him to help you through. And as we all do that together, we will really be stronger because of it. I will be praying for our nation, for those who were affected by today's tragedy, and I hope you will join me in doing the same. Until next time, many blessings.